everybody. This is Connors from Nautical Films. And in honor of Hellraiser Judgment, which comes out February 13th on Blu-ray and DVD, it's Hellraiser week here at Nautical Films. And today I'm going to go down the list of what, in my opinion, the best Hellraiser films from best to worst. So, without further ado, let's get started. Kicking off the list at number one, what my opinion is the best Hellraiser film, it is Hellraiser Revelations. No, I'm just kidding. The best film, of course, is the original Hellraiser. Great plot, great effects, great acting. It really stands out as far as a horror film, and really not even just a horror film. It stands out as a film, in my opinion, of the 80s. So that's what gives it the number one spot on my list. And number two on my list would be Hellraiser 2, or Hellbound. To me, it's a step down from the original. It's still really good. You got a lot of actors and actresses reprising their roles, so the acting is still really good. The effects are really good, and I really like the Channered Cenobite at the end. It looks amazing, and I like how you get to see a little bit more of the Cenobite realm. You get to see the Leviathan, which is basically the Cenobite god, or their god. But it's still, to me, it's just it doesn't capture the feel that the first one did, but still a pretty solid outing from the Hellraiser franchise, so that'll take number two. Coming in at number three on the list is Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. Have you noticed a pattern yet? They kind of keep going down in quality with each movie. But Hellraiser 3, it's a really enjoyable film. It's definitely a big shift in tone from the first two. There's a lot more like action. It's kind of like action horror. And Pinhead, he has a lot more lines. He's not just like one-line dialogue. He almost becomes Freddy Krueger-esque. He kind of has a lot of kind of one-liners, witty one-liners and comebacks and stuff. But a lot of people think this is where the franchise started going downhill, after the third one. And we'll get to that in a minute. But Hellraiser 3, I think, is still a pretty strong outing. It's a very enjoyable film. So that takes number three. Coming in at fourth on the list is Hellraiser 4, The Bloodlines. This, to me, is where it really starts going downhill. This movie, it takes the old horror cliche, what do we do with this character? Well, we've had these many movies with him, let's put him in space. That's exactly what they did. Of course, this movie spans several centuries. It starts off in the 1700s, which is by far my favorite part of the film. You get to see the origins, the lament configuration, but everything else about this film is pretty much forgetful. I really don't like the Pinhead in space cliche thing, but it's pretty strong as far as showing the backstory of the Hellraiser mythos and the origins of the lament configuration. So that takes number four. Coming in at number five on the list is the ninth installment of this franchise, Hellraiser Revelations. I don't hate this movie as much as I thought I would. Make no mistake about it, it's not a good movie, but it is the first one in several installments that is actually an original Hellraiser story and actually involves the Hellraiser mythos. The acting is bad, the editing is bad, the lighting is bad, but I rank this high because, like I said, it is an original Hellraiser story, and the effects in it aren't too bad either. I was really shocked at how good the effects were, especially during the Cenobite transformation of the main character. I was really shocked by that. So, not a good movie, but I ranked it number five just because it's original. Coming in at number six on the list is the seventh installment of this franchise, Hellraiser, Debtor. This is not an original Hellraiser script. The Cenobites and the box were just shoved in there last minute. But I kind of like the plot. It's very reality bending. I know a lot of people might not like that, but I enjoyed it in this movie. It was shot in Romania because of budgetary reasons. And in this movie, I love how they make no mistake about it. They don't try and pretend Romania is like New York. It's set in Romania. But the plot overall, it's pretty original. I think it's original. It's pretty entertaining, you know, as far as like the plot twists go and trying to tell what's real and what's not and what's an hallucination. But that comes in at number 6. Definitely check it out, you know, if you're a fan of the Hellraiser franchise. And number 7 on my list, and this is where we really start going downhill with these next 3, is the 6th installment, Hellseeker. This is kind of pretty boring movie. Kirsty returns from the first film. She's in it maybe all of 5 minutes. The twist, it's another one of these, like, you know, what is real and what's not? Is this, you know, is this reality? Is this a hallucination? Whatever. But it doesn't pull it off as good as Debtor does, in my opinion. The plot twist at the end is decent, but it's pretty boring. The acting's pretty bad. Skip this one if you're a Hellraiser fan. Coming in at number 8 on the list is Hellraiser 5, Inferno. This movie sucks. The acting is bad. It's another one of these. It's not a Hellraiser movie or script or story. They just shoved the Cenobites and the box in there last minute. A lot of nonsensical stuff in this film. It's another one of these. You know, again, it's a recurring theme in the latter Hellraiser movies, like what's real and what's not. But it's just it's a garbled mess. At one point, you have the main character fighting like cowboy ninjas. Like what the hell is going on here? Pinhead's in it, probably all of 2.5 minutes. So definitely skip this one. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. Coming in dead last on my list is Hellraiser 8, Hellworld. This movie is terrible. It has nothing to do with the Hellraiser mythos at all. It can be argued that Pinhead and the Cenobites really aren't even in this film. I mean, they appear in the film, but it comes out at the end, they are hallucinations, except for maybe one time, maybe. The acting is terrible. You can tell that the filmmakers tried to make the film like more current events, you know, current, try to appeal to like a younger audience, but it didn't work out. It's bad acting. The plot is terrible. The editing and the lighting, I had a major issue with that because it's lit and edited just terrible. The one really good thing I will say about this movie is Lance Henriksen. He plays the main antagonist in this film. He does a tremendous job. He is by far the best part about this film. But yeah, if you ever come across Hellraiser, Hellworld, don't do yourself a favor and don't waste like an hour and 20 minutes of your life. Just skip it all together. And there you have it. That was my list of what, in my opinion, are the best Hellraiser films, ranked from best to worst. Be sure to check out Hellraiser Judgment, which comes out February 13th. I know I'll probably pick it up the first day it comes out, because of course I would. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at NotOccult Films. And until next time, this has been Connors with NotOccult Films.